Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Chester here, music composer, producer for 45Y Music. Got another fun one for you, and it is another Rigid Audio production. So we're doing Limerence. Limerence is definitely one of my favorites. Really excited to do this one, so I thought I'd jump on and get this review going for you, this deep dive. So without further ado, let's jump in and check out the website. Then we'll jump into the DAW and we'll show some application. All right. Here on the website, we have Limerence, which is an interesting name title for a sample library because that's about human emotion and whether you're in love or not in love with someone, just in that context of attachment and things like that. So very interesting because it's a really amazing organic textures library, textures being like pads or soundscapes in that regard. And each one you get up to 4 soundscapes that you get to add in and blend through one knob called the density knob, and then you have these other knobs that can control other things about it, but you're really able within seconds the ability to blend any of these textures that you're calling up into your project with ease. That is why I use it constantly. I think it's such an easy UI and library to grasp, understand, and just come in and just set. The complete opposite to a lot of the other Rigid Audio projects, actually, because their UIs are so complex. Some of the most complex UIs I've ever seen just to make soundscapes. But this one is the complete opposite, and they nailed it. They nailed this one. It's so awesome. There'll be a link in the description, so you'll be able to click on any of these, check out how it sounds. They do have some of their favorite patches that they've loaded up for you to hear, and then you can kind of understand like, okay, this is what I'm getting into. So check that out. If you aren't looking for that $89 price point, well, good news for you. For a limited amount of time here, Plugin Boutique has you covered. $5 on any of their libraries that they have here, and there's quite a few. And so Atheos, there'll be a link somewhere I'll post, but we just gave you a review of that one. Now we're going to give you a review of Limerence, so let's just jump in on this. I didn't know that Plugin Boutique did ratings, so that's really awesome. 800 votes gives it a 5-star. I'd give it 5 across the board. I do kind of agree with presets there slightly, but you do get a lot here. System requirements, the only thing I would just mention is you do need the full version of Kontakt, at the very minimum Kontakt 5.8.1 or above, so that free version will not work for you. You do need that full version. And then I got the manual here to help me out in case I need, but I probably shouldn't need it. This is such a quick, easy library. We'll get the gist right away. Let me open it up here, and then I'm just going to solo and just play this patch by... I'm going to turn it down a little bit, and then I'm also going to just kind of turn some of this down. So now we can kind of hear launching this patch called Awakening, which you can hear from an organic. It's the first patch that kind of comes up. And so how you're able to work these sounds that come in, turn down even more, is you have, 6 knobs? And then you have 4 clickable options, or 8 total down here. So let's start with the easy ones. Attack and release are part of your envelope for the amplitude, so you can set this up. I love setting almost everything up at noon and then just kind of tweaking from there, but with it being textural, giving yourself a longer attack is a good go, especially in the context of which I'm having this piece. Release, same thing, moving that up and getting that into, and that's the release of the key, dies out. That is right there for you. Next up can be density. Density is with one knob here, adding up to 4 voices or textures at a time. So if I look at Awakening samples, they're all like this. You have 4 samples going on per patch, okay? So we're in the Awakening right now, so we have these 4 playing. And as I start adding this, you'll see the numbers light up here. 3 right there, 4. Now we should have 4 pads playing at once here through all of these settings. Also, I will remind, mod wheel is set up to filter cutoff, which is not a knob on here, so that's pretty awesome. So just keep that in mind. You have that at your arsenal as well. Let's just have 3 for now because patch is pretty busy. Shape is distortion and bit crusher, things like that. So whatever's going on under the hood, it doesn't really show you unless you probably click and dive in, but that's okay. Using our ears anyways and seeing what sounds good. So we can leave that somewhere. We'll worry about when we hear it in the mix. Tone is applying these up to 4 effects. You have filter, delay, impulse response, which is like a reverb, and then the phaser. And then once you've decided, maybe say, I don't want delay, or I don't want reverb, or I do want delay, set up that tone knob and start turning that up. And it will change the sound. So you dial that in, get that where you want it, and you're all set. And then final knob here is flow. And this is like modulated rhythm. So if I turn this up all the way, I'm going to turn the volume up now a little bit. You can hear a pattern kind of going on. And that pattern goes away as we turn flow down. So that's really great way of also kind of blending the sample in to your piece and getting it sounding good. I do have quite a bit of modulation and EQ and compression and things going on just to make this sound kind of fun. I have all the knobs set up here to Ableton here. And the biggest problem I have with this library now is every time I go to a different patch, I have to reassign through host automation. I have to reassign these knobs so that they can be once again assigned there. So I hope to get that resolved. The other problem I've had with this library, which I did finally fix, I had to reinstall it, but the UI wasn't loading. The knobs were, but the background, the wallpaper wasn't. So I have to go to instrument options every time, select this, select the wallpaper, hit close this, and then it would show. When I'd open a new patch, I'd have to do it again, and that just got annoying. But a reinstall, that seemed to fix it. So another way to fix it, I've heard, is you click this, go to batch resave, and save it, and you're good to go. We'll play this piece a little bit. We did that review earlier of Atheos, so added these two together and just kind of had a little fun with them. And then what I'll do is, as this is playing, I'm going to blend Limerence in, be kind of a companion to the music here, and so that it becomes more of a layer along with the other cinematic soundscapes going on. It's just like that. That's the review. I think Limerence is one of the best rigid audio libraries I've purchased. I got it for $5 a couple years ago, and I have been using that one from the moment I got it. I listened to a few of those presets, and I thought it was fantastic and tasteful for a lot of the work I was doing at the time. I believe even in my horror trailer library album that came out, I'll put a link in the description. It's used a couple times as just background texture. I paired it a lot with some of the old 0G libraries that I have, and it just gives it new life. Pairs really well with Albion 1. Also, those textures that kind of come with, not just the orchestra, I'm talking about like the synth, the hybrid stuff. It pairs really well with that too. Pairs with almost anything. Omnisphere, I've paired it with that a ton. It's just kind of a good workhorse type organic textures library. Hope that was helpful for you. I hope that this review, this deep dive, has given you another option for something like this. If you're looking for some more cinematic textures or some sort of soundscape to add to your music projects. And then if not, hopefully we'll get something out there where it can help you. So thanks. Take care. Like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Peace.